Spain, Italy, and Greece. These beautiful, culturally rich countries have been deeply affected by the Syrian refugee crisis. Our hope today is to educate you on the current state of this crisis in these regions of the world. I now will turn the time over to Elder Patrick Kieran, a member of the 70 of the LDS Church, to educate us more on the issue.
There are an estimated 60 million refugees in the world today, and half of these are children. We see many of them coming with only the clothes they are wearing and what they can carry in one small bag. Countless thousands before them, this will be a period, we hope a short period in their lives. Some of them will go on to be Nobel laureates, public servants, physicians, scientists, musicians, artists, religious leaders, and contributors in other fields. Indeed, many of them were these things before they lost everything. This moment does not define them, but our response will help define us.
This graph demonstrates the number of immigrants to each of the respective countries of Spain, Italy, and Greece. In Europe, there is a large amount of immigrants that are coming for various reasons, such as jobs, better opportunities, and sanctuary from internal conflicts within their home countries. Looking at the percentage that these immigrants make up of their new host country populations puts the respective countries into a bracket of the more developed regions in the world. These immigrant percentages have the potential of sustaining the economies of their host countries because of the majority being between the ages of 20 and 64, or within the working class age groups, and with a slight majority of them being females who could potentially provide care for the aging European populations. However, the large percentage of immigrants can also cause problems to arise due to the host cultures feeling threatened by the sheer numbers of new cultures and people that are influxing into their nations.
Struggling to cope with the huge wave of new arrivals. This year alone, almost 100,000 refugees have reached the Italian coast by sea. That's 85% of all migrants who came by sea to Europe. It's prompted local mayors to try and draw attention to the crisis, staging rallies to protest at what they say is an unsustainable number of refugees being settled in the country. Our crew visited one such town and spoke exclusively to the mayor. Here's more from RT's Ilya Petrenko.
I've been traveling across rural parts of Sicily for almost a week now, speaking to locals, various officials, and refugees. And I'll tell you what, some people may not be willing to admit it, but Italy has really been divided by the refugee crisis. There are locals who are ready to welcome migrants and refugees without any preconditions, but there are, of course, others who are willing to put their livelihoods and their concerns first. Their lives have been hit hard by the economic crisis, and they are the ones who now end up having to accommodate the refugees. The most vivid example is the mayor of a small community in the Sicilian mountains. He told me how he started a protest in a place that has been quiet for decades, when dozens of refugees and migrants were moved into an abandoned hotel. The mayor, along with the locals, blocked the way for an electricity generator that was being delivered into the hotel. In an exclusive interview, he explained to me why they did that.
When there's no room, there's no room. We've already got huge difficulties here, like unemployment, issues with infrastructure, and healthcare. The community does not understand how we can accept more people when we have all these problems.
So what are the general effects of this influx of refugees entering Spain, Italy, and Greece? Many worry that an increase of migration into their countries will lead to economic strain as immigrants compete for jobs, or that wages will be negatively influenced. But evidence has shown that these effects are minimal. What does occur, however, in many cases, is a rise in nationalistic views, as native Spanish, Italian, and Greek citizens view these refugees as foreign and lacking the ability or desire to assimilate. Refugees and immigrants are oftentimes seen as a burden on limited resources due to large social distances created by diversity in their language, religious practices, or even their appearance. Due to these attitudes, many refugees feel isolated as they seek to create a new home for themselves. But while they may feel like outsiders, these refugees continue with hope, believing that the country to which they are coming will mean greater safety and opportunities for their families.
Public opinion on the refugee crisis varies within Italy, Greece, and Spain. Each country perceives the overall threat at different levels. Greece is the most worried about refugees, with 69% of respondents claiming that refugees from Syria and Iraq are a major threat. Italy follows closely behind, with 65% of respondents feeling the same. Spain is the most optimistic, with only 42%, less than half, feeling that refugees are a threat. The perceptions of Italy and Greece are that refugees will increase terrorism. This fear of terrorism comes because of misconceptions about the Islamic faith. Thus, negative views of refugees are tied to a negative view about Muslims. Greece and Italy feel that refugees will make their country a worse place to live, with 63% and 53% respectively claiming that refugees will worsen their nations. Spain is less pessimistic, with only 22% saying that refugees will make the country worse, and almost twice as many respondents as in Italy and Greece that feel refugees will make the country better. As we see, not everyone is a hater. How can we be more like Spain, with more positive outlooks on refugees?
Και για 50 άτομα μπορούν να πάνε. Γιατί πάντα κάνω έτσι παραπάνω. Δεν κάνω για ορισμένα άτομα, γιατί πάντα κάποιος έρχεται. Hello, hi. Πω, καλά. Καθίστε, hello.
Ερχόταν και ολόκληρα της. Μας κάνανε πεινάμε.
Παλικάρια, 2 μέτρα και σου λέγανε πεινάμε. Έλα τώρα. Ήτανε αφλία η κατάσταση, Ήτανε πάρα πολύ... Δεν μπορεί τώρα.
The mother is one in the world. One, just. But I think she's woman changed my mind.
Το μήνυμά μας είναι πρέπει να τις αγκαλιάσουμε όλοι μαζί. Όλοι. Γιατί πρέπει. Γιατί μπορεί και εμείς αύριο να βρεθούμε έτσι, όχι.
Now you may be asking yourself, what can I do to help for the cause of refugees? The LDS Church urges all people and governments to cooperate fully in seeking the best solutions to meet human needs and relieve suffering. There are a few solutions which we have come up with that you can apply in your lives if you so please. First, there are many places online where you can make a charitable donation to the cause of refugees. Second, with the help of a local office, you can volunteer and mentor a refugee family, teach English, or even help refugees with resumes. Third, with social media being so prevalent these days, it is very easy for you to spread the word and make it known to all those who follow you. And don't forget to use the hashtag #StandWithRefugees. Fourth, and finally, we urge you all to stay informed and take the time to get updated on the news so you can continue to be aware of the situations that are happening not only in Spain, Italy, and Greece, but throughout all of the world. There is much that we can do to help in this cause, and remember, every little bit of help counts.